Hello everyone, my name is Asyrafchazz and welcome back to yet another One Piece card game video. And in this video, we're gonna talk about the full list for the Big Mom starter deck. So the recent One Piece video that they posted on their channel, they covered all the other missing cards. So I think we have the full list right now. So we're going to talk about every single card in this video. I do apologize that some of the card scans are still low resolution, but don't worry, when the starter decks comes out over here, we'll be opening them up on the channel itself. So, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving a like and subscribing if you want to keep up to date with more One Piece card game content. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at every single card coming to the Big Mom starter deck. Alright, I'll try my best to go through all of them in order, but we'll start things first with Charlotte Linlin, the leader of the starter deck itself, Big Mom herself. Charlotte Linlin is your yellow leader, the new color introduced coming into OPO3 as well. Charlotte Linlin is 5000 power, the special attributes, part of the 4 Emperors and Big Mom Pirates, and her ability is when attacking Dawn 2, that means having 2 Dawn attached to Big Mom, you may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life area to your hand. If your life is at 2 or less, you may place up to 1 card from your hand at the top of your life area. So this is essentially a way for you to manipulate your life area. So what Big Mom wants to do, once you're at that 3 life spot, you can attack into your opponent and then add the card from the top of your bottom of your life to your hand. So if it's something that you know it's already there with other card effects, you can kind of swap that card that you need to a card that you don't need from your hand, and preferably a card with a trigger ability. And that's the way that Big Mom wants to play. You want to put your cards with trigger into your life area so that when your opponent attacks into it, bam, the trigger happens, and then you get a free card effect like that. So this is really good. Big Mom, I think, is going to be one of the new cards that's going to shake up the metagame for sure. This leader, alongside the Katakuri leader that we're going to get in OPO3, definitely going to be one of the stronger yellow leaders coming out for the set. And I'm excited to try Big Mom out for sure. I think the ability is going to lead to a lot of grindier games. And also, you have to kind of be aware of what your opponent has in their life. If they are putting a life card, a card that, in from their hand to the life, or from the field to the life, or if they are going to be putting a card that into the life area, then you have to kind of remember that as well. So you got to be careful when you're playing against Big Mom. I think Big Mom's definitely going to lead to more trickier gameplay, but definitely going to be very, very fun. So next up, we got Charlotte Anana. This is your 1 cost 3000 power with the wisdom attribute, a counter 1000 vanilla. Like every starter deck will have this one. I love the artwork though, it's very cute, and I'm glad they are doing away with the empty text boxes. They're doing the full art thing again, so we can expect that moving forward. So next up, according to the list and the number itself, I believe it's Charlotte Katakuri. Charlotte Katakuri is our super rare for one of the super rares for the starter deck. 4 cost 6000 power, the striker attribute, and his ability is on play, look at up to 1 life card from the top of your opponent's life area and put it either on the top or bottom of the life area. Then if you have less life cards than your opponent, this character gains rush. So Katakuri, definitely a really, really strong card, and I think a definite staple for yellow decks moving forward, because he gets rush. That's already really good. Of course, it's conditional rush, but it's very easy for you to have less life cards than your opponent. Maybe even yellow, black Big Mom from OPO3 would benefit from playing Charlotte Katakuri. And also, it gives you information about what you have in your life area, as well as what your opponent could have in their life area. So you're not attacking into maybe a jet pistol, or you're not attacking into something that has potentially a trigger effect. So Charlotte Katakuri, definitely a really, really good card. Next up is Charlotte Snack. So Charlotte Snack is a 5 cost 6000 power, the slasher attribute, part of the Big Mom Pirates, and his ability is Dawn 1. When attacking, you may add the top or bottom of your life area to your hand. Then this character gains banish and 1000 power for this battle. So it's actually really quite strong. It becomes a 7000 power with banish, and with the Dawn on it, it's going to be 8000 power. If you put another Dawn in it, it's 9k, and then your opponent will have to dedicate a lot of resource to defend against the attack if they don't have any blockers, and you don't want to get your cards banished. So this is really quite good. However, the condition to add the top or bottom of your life area, in the early game maybe it's okay. Later game, it's gonna be a bit of a problem for sure, but it works in conjunction with Katakuri. If you want your life to be a bit lower of a number than your opponent, then maybe Charlotte Snack can come out first, and then you're lower life than your opponent, and then Charlotte Katakuri can come out. So pretty interesting card for sure. Looking like a snack, Charlotte Snack. Next up is Charlotte Daifuku. Charlotte Daifuku is a 4-cost 5000 power the slasher attribute, part of the Big Mom Pirates, and his ability is Dawn 1. When attacking, you may take one card from the top or bottom of your life area and put it into your hand. Put up to one card from the top of your deck on top of your life area. Now, we talked about this card before. Essentially, if yellow gets a, not really a searcher, but the similar card effect like Perona or Doflamingo, where you are able to rearrange the top 5 cards of your deck. You can rearrange them in a certain order, maybe a triggered ability card at the top, and then you play Charlotte Daifuku, and then you put that card from the top of your deck that has the trigger into your life area. So in that situation, then Daifuku would definitely be a little bit better. But as of now, you're just replacing, or maybe you want that card that's currently in your life in your hand. So that's another way that you can get it as well. Pretty situational, yes, but it's very interesting and, potentially could see some play in the future. Alright, next up we got Charlotte Flampe. This is the best sister. No, not really, but it's a 2-cost 4000 power with the range attribute, a vanilla with counter 1000. So this is your 2-cost 4000 power vanilla for this deck. Sure, she's in the set. If I was changing the deck up, she'll be the first to go, because nobody likes Charlotte Flampe in this house. Next, we get the true best sister of the Big Mom Pirates, Charlotte Brûlée. 3-cost 1000 power with the special attribute with counter 1000, and she is a blocker, but she has the trigger ability to play this card. So this card is definitely one that you want to have in your, either in your hand or at the top of your deck when you're doing the effects that put the cards into your life area. Imagine like you have a Brûlée, you put it into your life, your opponent has to attack into it, and then you get a free blocker after that. So it's really, really quite good. And I think Big Mom will definitely benefit from putting Brûlée or any cards with trigger into your life area. So Brûlée, definitely 10 out of 10. Best sister compared to Flambe. Get Flambe out of here. Brûlée for the win. Brûlée 100%. Then next up, we got Charlotte Pudding. Charlotte Pudding is a 2-cost 3000 power with the Wisdom attribute with counter 2000, and her ability is on play, look at up to one life card from the top of your or your opponent's life area and put it on the top or bottom of the life area. So if you need information either on your life or like your opponent's life area, you could use Charlotte Pudding to kind of determine whether the life that you are attacking into or the life in your starter field is something that you need. But essentially, this is your plus 2000 counter for the starter deck. So it's a really useful card, and in the future, you'll probably need a playset. Or if you get more plus 2000 counters, yellow cards in OPO3, then you can swap it out with that card instead. But Charlotte Pudding, definitely really good. Next up, we got Charlotte Mondior. 3-cost 4000 power, the special attribute with counter 1000, and his ability is activate main. You may rest this character and take the card at the top or bottom of your life area. KO up to one of your opponent's characters that cost 3 or less. His trigger ability is that you may trash one card from your hand and play this card. So this card, once again, we talked about it before, but it's a removal or the stake at the cost of a card from your life area, but you want to be at a lower life count anyway if you want to use Charlotte Katakuri Rush effect, and then Charlotte Mondior can help you do that while getting rid of another threat that you want to affect. So this card, you don't have to use his ability. Either way, it's a great trigger card. At the cost of only one card from your hand, you can play it out for free. So there you go. Next up, we have the title character herself, Big Mom, and I think this is the best super rare, at least from yellow, from what we've seen. I love my Charlotte Katakuri, but I think Big Mom's effect is really, really quite good. So Big Mom is a 7-cost 8000 power with a special attribute. This is your big top end for the deck, and her ability is on play. Your opponent chooses one from below, trash one card from the top of your opponent's life area, or put one card from the top of your deck on top of your life area. So essentially, it's either they are going to lose one life or you gain one life. So this is a great card. This is one of the best super rares out there. And if you're intending to play yellow, this is a definite playset in the future, I think. Or either like a 3-off, because it's such a good effect. Like you put it down, you essentially affect the life. You can either gain one or let your opponent lose one. So I love it. Charlotte Linlin, really, really strong card. Right, next up we have Zeus. Zeus is a 3 cost 3000 power, the special attribute with counter 1000, and his ability is activate main. You may rest this card up to one of your Charlotte Linlin gain banished during this turn, and his trigger ability is play this card. So Zeus alongside Prometheus both kind of share the same effect. You can rest it to give your Charlotte Linlin a specific effect. In this case for Zeus it's banish. So if it affects leaders, which I think it does, then it's really good. Either way, you can use it to affect your 7 cost Big Mom that we talked about earlier, and it's great as well. And also it does have the trigger ability to play this card, so it definitely is synergistic with all the other cards that can put cards from your hand or from the top of your deck into the life area, so that's really good as well. Next up we have Baron Tamago. This is your 4 cost 6000 power vanilla with counter 1000. So great vanilla, great character. I feel like he will get a character with an effect in the set itself for PO3, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. Then next up we have Prometheus. Prometheus is a 3 cost 3000 power, the special attribute with counter 1000, and his ability is activate main. You may rest this card up to one of your Charlotte Linlin gains double attack during this turn. Triggered ability is to play this card. So once again, similar to what Zeus is doing, you rest this card and then you can give your Charlotte Linlin double attack or banish. And then if you can put the card from the field into your life area or return it back to your hand or something like that, you can put essentially protect it. If you can find a way to put it back to the life, you can let it trigger and then come back again. It's really quite good. So I think this card is going to be okay, at least for the starter deck. It's a playable card, but it might be outclassed by some of the other cards coming from OPO3, because like I said in the video where I talked about Prometheus, is that your attack has to connect for it to have the full potential or the full effect of it. So essentially if it doesn't connect, you're just going to be resting this card for nothing essentially. Or you can use it to pressure into your opponent, that's one thing. But then again, it does have the trigger ability to play this card, so it is synergistic. They will see some play in the early days. And yeah, I quite like it as well. Not to mention the artwork for Zeus and Prometheus, really quite good. Right, next up we have Pecoms. This is your 3 cost 5000 power, the striker attribute with counter 1000, vanilla. Also has the Mings and Big Mom Pirate sub trait. So there you go, 3 cost 5000 power. It's good to see Baron Tamago and Pecoms together. Hopefully he gets his own card with more effects in OPO3. So we gotta wait and see. Next up we have Soul Pokers, one of 2 of the event cards for the Big Mom starter deck. It's a 5 cost event card, part of the 4 Emperors and Big Mom Pirates as well, and its ability is main. Your opponent chooses one of the effects from below. Your opponent treasures the top card of their life area, or place the top card of your deck on top of your life area. And its triggered ability is to activate this main's effect. So essentially it's a Big Mom's effect on a event card. Yes, it does cost 5, so it's a big ask, but if you do have a full playset, you can essentially try and manipulate your life with Big Mom's leader ability and then put this card into your life area so that, you know, you can either get rid of one of your opponent's life or you gain a life. So whether or not this card is going to see some play in the future will depend on how consistently can you cast this, as well as how consistently can you get it into your life area. But it's good, I really quite like it, and you know, it's an immediate effect. Like, of course you will rather play the Big Mom because you would have a body as well as the effect that activated, but this card is also another way to do it. So there you go, very powerful event card. Next we have Power Mochi. This is the yellow counter for the deck. Yellow event card, it's a 1 cost, part of the Big Mom Pirates. And its ability is counter, look at up to 1 card from the top of your or your opponent's life area and place it at the top or bottom of the life area. Then up to one of your leader or character gains plus 2000 power for the battle. Its triggered ability is draw 1 card, look at up to 1 card from the top or bottom of your opponent's or your life area and place it at the top or the bottom of the life area. So for a counter, it's doing what the other like Katakuri does, where you get information on your life area or your opponent's life area, and it gives the standard counter 1 plus 2000. So whether or not this is going to see some play once the metagame develops, especially for OPO3 onwards, will depend on what yellow event cards we get, because we are probably going to get that 2 cost plus 4k counter event card in the future, but this is pretty interesting as well. And the trigger ability is to draw a card and then do the same effect, that you can look at the top card from your opponent or your life area and place it at the top or bottom. So either way, when you're looking at the top card of your opponent's life area and it's a card that you don't want them to have, maybe it's a card that can affect the board state, or it's a card that has trigger, you can send it to the bottom and deal with it later. So that's also really quite good. So yeah, I really quite like this card. And of course, Power Mochi, you know, it looks great, the artwork looks great, and that is, if I'm not wrong, the first appearance of Gear 4 in the One Piece card game. So there you go. And our last card of the starter deck is none other than Queen Mama Chanter. This is your 2-cost stage card for yellow for the Big Mom starter deck. And its ability is activate main, rest this stage. You may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life area to your hand. Place up to 1 of your characters that cost 3 on top of the owner's life area face up. And trigger ability is play this card. So this card really quite strong, and this is why the like Prometheus and Zeus are so good, as well as all the other 3-cost cards, character cards with trigger, is because you can use Queen Mama Chanter to send it to your life area. It's so good. I mean, like, yeah, you can give your Big Mom double attack, you can give your Big Mom banish or something else, and then, or you can, you know, if you have a Brûlé that somehow survived a block that is currently rested, you can send it back to the life area to act as a blocker again. So essentially, you are not losing any resources. You are essentially drawing a card from your life. And then, yes, you do lose that character unit on the side of the field, but if it has trigger, then you're good to go. And also, the trigger ability to play this card for free, definitely really quite good as well. Queen Mama Chanter, I'm curious to see, because like I said that Marineford, the stage card from the Marine starter deck, was going to see a lot of play, but it didn't, because it was outclassed by all the other cost reducing cards for OPO2. This one, I feel like it's strong, so I'm not sure if it's going to see a lot of play, but the ability to directly put a card that has trigger into your life area, I think it's good, and I hope that it does see some play in the OPO3 metagame moving forward. So there you go, every single card from the Big Mom starter deck. I'm really excited for the release of the yellow cards officially entering their way into the One Piece card game. I will be opening up this starter deck once I get my hands on it. I believe the release date is on the 21st of January, so look out for that. I'll probably have a video up by then. If not, probably gonna be a couple of days like that. But either way, let me know in the comment section below if you are excited about the Big Mom starter deck. Is this something that you are going to play once it's out, especially for the English release in the future? Or is this deck just going to be like, oh, I'm not sure, do you want to wait for OPO3? Either way, I think there are really powerful cards in here, such as the Big Mom character card itself. The leader as well has a really strong ability, and of course Charlotte Katakuri, just one of my favorite cards right now. I love Rush cards, and now we have Rush in yellow, so that's really quite good. Anyway, that's it from me for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'm excited for yellow to come out. So check out 21st Jan. We'll hopefully have a starter deck opening by then. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.